Hello, welcome to Mission Cognition Social Learning Channel. This is episode 1. So this channel is the place to be for 12-minute tips related to behavior analytic, play, and social skills instruction because, hey, that's what we do. My name is Ashley Rose. I'm the Clinical Director of Mission Cognition Social Skills Development Centers. Today's topic is activity kits. This topic was selected because of relevance and application across settings and across disciplines. In this episode, I will provide our working definition of activity kits. So what are they? Provide examples and present ideas for expanding upon use to target a variety of skills across a variety of populations. If you work with students, learners, clients in a shared space, you're going to want to stay tuned. These tips are pandemic friendly. Let's jump to it. Activity kits, what are they? You may be familiar with or use the terms job boxes or maybe work tasks. I'm not partial to the word job and task in this context as we are primarily focused on play and social skills development, and those terms feel a little bit vocational, academic, and somewhat independent in nature. That's not a bad thing, it just doesn't jive with what we do here. For our purposes, we'll be using the term activity kits to describe a set of materials in a designated container. That may be a pencil box, a plastic shoebox, a larger storage or plastic container, or even those mesh zippered bags. What you decide to store the materials in isn't as relevant or as important as what the actual materials are that you're selecting. So in terms of what you're storing them in, you're just really going to want to think about the size of the materials because you need to make sure that it's going to fit in that designated container, and also ease of access and accessibility for your learners, your participants, as well as the storage space that you have available. You're putting these kits together, you need to keep them somewhere. So thinking about your shelf space, a way that's going to look very organized, and again, most importantly, be accessible to yourself and to your participants. It's what's inside the kit where you really want to prioritize your attention. So activities should be systematically selected to match learner goals. So what is it that you're teaching, or what skills are they practicing? And interests, what do your learners like? And that's important because you can use activities as dual purpose. So selecting activity kits to focus on specific goals and objectives, but also having activity kits available to access during free time or unstructured time within your classroom or the setting in which you're providing instruction. Sets of materials should be manageable, meaning that there's enough in the set to actually engage and explore, but not so much that it might be overwhelming to the learner. And what I mean by overwhelming is that because there's so much, it's serving as a barrier to being able to generate an idea for how to use those materials if they're open-ended in nature, but also the ability to set things up, actually engage and participate with the activity, and then also clean it up, because we do want to see a level of independence within that. So let's take a look at some more concrete examples. Let's take a look at 5 examples. So these are real life examples of activity kits. I pulled them right off the shelf, meaning that we are consistently using them with our participants. The 5 I selected aren't my 5 favorites. They aren't the top 5. They're 5 that I think represent the variety or the different types of skills that you can focus on using the same concept or the shared concept of activity kits. So let's take a look. The first one I want to show you is cars. So I have it here in just a regular pencil box. These are dollar pencil boxes from Walmart. You'll see that I have it labeled Cars 3. So during pandemic time, we are capping our group sizes at 4. So there's 4 participants and there's 1 instructor. So we've created 4 kits, and then we have separate instructor kits. So all of our kits will be labeled with the name of the activity and then 1, 2, 3, or 4 to keep track of them. I will talk about in more detail what's inside the kits. Some of the kits must be identical. So Cars 1 must be exactly the same as Cars 2, Cars 3, Cars 4. In this example here, these are not identical, and I'll tell you why. We're not using this activity as a cooperative activity, meaning we're not working together toward a shared or common goal. If we were doing that, which I will talk about when I share the Connects kit, the sets would have to be identical. So again, you're going off of what your goals are. What skills are you looking to teach? Once you have that identified, it helps guide you and inform what you're going to put into your kits. So here's our cars kit. It's actually surprising what you can fit into a pencil box. So this is a set of magic tracks. So magic tracks comes with quite a bit. And when we were putting together our activity kits in preparation for reopening during the pandemic and making sure that we're adhering to social distancing guidelines and we're reducing or eliminating shared contact points, we completely went through all of our materials to see what can we break apart? What has a lot of pieces or a lot of parts that we could break into separate kits? And Magic Tracks was on that list. So we took these apart and we took out just enough that they can put together a complete circle. Okay, so you see there that it makes the activity a little bit more structured and more manageable. If you think back to what I was discussing about not making it overwhelming or putting barriers in place for your learners to generate an idea and then work towards completing or bringing that idea to fruition. So enough magic tracks to form a complete circle. And then each kit has 5 cars, so just Matchbox cars. So if you were working on functional independent play, then this serves that purpose as well. So you present the kit, they build the circle track, and you can drive the cars around. We're working on expanding upon these kits for more social engagement and reciprocity. So we'll work on building the tracks. They're difficult. So you're most likely going to see good opportunities for working on requesting or demanding for help or assistance as your kids are having a hard time putting them together. We have the cars. You can practice things like go, stop. We have signs that we have printed out to play red light, green light, faster, slower. Participants can give directions to one another or take turns holding those signs. So again, it's a simple, basic kit, but there are lots of opportunities to expand upon this to target additional skills. Okay, so that's the cars kit. Let's take a look at another one. Here I have a Play-Doh kit. So same concept, it's in the plastic bin, it's labeled Play-Doh number 3. Inside this, we have Play-Doh. All of the participants have their own Play-Doh containers, 1 or 2 colors, maybe 3 if I really trust them not to mix it. Their initials are put on the top here. Again, we're working to eliminate shared touch points or shared materials. 5 or 6 stencils, is that what you call these, are in here. A knife, and then a couple of idea cards. So here we have meatballs, we have worm, and we have pancakes. So we're working on specific motor actions of roll, splat, squeeze and roll. So those specific idea cards correspond with those actions. This is great for associative play. Open-ended materials lend themselves really nicely to that. You may refer to them as creation station or maker station. So the specific skills I'm looking for in an associative play activity are to comment on what you're doing. I'm making meatballs. I'm making a worm. Look, I made a pancake. Look, I made a pancake is also an example for bid for attention. So requesting attention from peers, generating an idea, making something cool, and showing it to others. Those are specific skill targets we're looking for within the associative play level. I also provide just these plastic trays. It eliminates the Play-Doh getting all over the table, kind of keeping it contained to a workspace. This was a little bit more relevant when we were sitting at shared tables, a little bit less so now that all of our participants have individual tables. Okay, so we have reviewed cars and we have reviewed Play-Doh. So let's take a look now at ice cream shop. So we had various ice cream related toys or activities. Some of them were, I believe Melissa and Doug said, and some others I believe are just from dollar store. So we went through and we picked apart. These are not identical kits. It still is a cooperative activity, and I'll show you why, but each kit does have different flavored scoops, but they all have 3 scoops, 1 bowl, and 2 cones. So that part's the same. The flavors are what's different. So we've expanded upon this activity by adding visuals to it. If you are interested in this, stay tuned to the end of the video. I'll show you how you can access those downloads. So here's an example of a visual that we have created, ice cream shop, order number 1. Each participant has their own kit. There's several different ways to play this, and again, stay tuned, I'll help you through that. I'm just going to give you the brief description here. So each participant would reference the order. They would look at their kit. Oh, I have, let's see, what do I have? A bowl, vanilla bowl. Okay, so I see vanilla bowls on the list. I see that's in my kit. I'll make the vanilla bowl. So players are working together to fill this order at the ice cream shop. So your employees, your team at the ice cream shop, order comes in, you have to work together to do everything on the list. That's what makes it cooperative. It's a cooperative play activity. You could change up the images that you put on here, and you could make it a solitary functional play activity. Again, if that was your purpose, dependent upon what your goals are. I am looking for a lot more engagement and peer-to-peer interaction. So that's not typically our goal within our center. But if you're working in one-to-one situations or you're in home, that may be very, very relevant and appropriate to you. All right, so we got cars, we got Play-Doh, we got ice cream shop. Let's take a look at Connects. All right, I got it here. All right, this was a little bit tedious to put together, but well worth it so that we could target the goals that I needed to target. Each of our Connects kits are exactly the same. We've just created the inventory list that's going to go in the lid here, and that tells exactly how many of each thing is in there. So it has the picture, and then it has the quantity, and also the name. So helpful to us as the facilitators or instructors as we go through the kits and make sure they're being kept up. Also helpful for the participants if they're at that level and they're able to reference it and check their own kits. I think that's great for independence. That's great for responsibility. Be responsible for the materials that you use. Because they're named, it's also very helpful for assisting us in doing the cooperative activity that I'm going to describe to you. We work on cooperative building. Typically, we would all build the same structure. It's great for working on flexibility and working on teamwork. So we would have one structure and we sort of go around the table. Each participant would be able to add to that structure. Because we're maintaining social distancing and we're eliminating shared materials, we're not able to do that. But we didn't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, if you will. I can't say, oh, we're social distancing or we can't share materials. I can no longer work on teamwork or cooperation. If that was the case, I wouldn't have reopened because I would have felt that we weren't able to provide a high quality, effective service. So you just need to brainstorm things and get creative. Activity kits saved us. So the kits are identical to allow us to do cooperative building. So each participant on their turn might add 3 to 5 things, whatever it might be. So I might say, okay, everybody, you need the yellow short stick and the white wheel. Okay, we're gonna attach that. If I even know how to do this, let's see, end. So press in here. Okay, everybody, now you need a short purple stick. Now remember, everybody has the same thing. So the leader on their turn is going to show them, tell them, and everybody else will scan their box and get the same thing. And we're going to put in here and continue for however many pieces you've designated that each participant will do on their turn. You see how many skills are associated with that. They're tacting or labeling what piece they're getting. They're giving direction using positional words for where to put things. They also need to maintain the awareness of the group. So scanning the group. Timing is going to be really important here. So if I see that the rest of my group is still looking to find things, I'm not going to continue to give the directions for the next step. So that social awareness piece is going to be really relevant to this activity as well. That's why I selected this type of activity kit, because my participants are working on those specific skills. So this meshes with that perfectly. Okay, let's take a look at the last one, and it's washing dishes. Okay, keeping in line with the same concept, you see the label here. This is dishwashing 1. Everything I believe in here came from the dollar store. So we have a bin here, which we're using as our sink. We have a dry dish towel, funky sponge, scrubber, sponge, a couple things to wash, a bowl, plate, spoon, and fork, all in this bin. This is a big hit for our developmental play group. So working on that multi-step play or sequences in play, washing, drying, things of that nature. To jazz it up a little bit, I do let them add water and also soap. So adding water, let's see if I do have my watering can. Here's my very fancy, handy dandy watering can. I have this available or accessible to me only while we are playing washing dishes. I usually keep it hidden. Once I pass everything out, I usually get a lot of increased motivation to access water. So if you're working on mandating water, pour water, want water, need more water, can I have water, whatever's developmentally appropriate for your participants. Okay, so we have the water. Let's up the excitement a little bit more by adding some soap. Again, requesting for the soap to be added. Shake, 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 adding some bubbles. Now you have some nice sudsy water in your sink here. And then for an added level of fun, if you can stand it, some of the kids really like when I blow bubbles while they're soaping up. So suds, rub-a-dub-dub, it all fits it within the theme, and something else to request. So open bubbles, blow bubbles, more bubbles, I wanna pop. So all related to the same theme. You see, again, very simple activity. Could be used as functional independent play, but to increase the level of engagement and target additional skills, there are many ways in which you can expand upon this. All right, so that covers the 5 kits that I wanted to show you as your concrete examples for this 12-minute tutorial. So we went over cars, K'NEX, Play-Doh, ice cream shop, and washing dishes. Hopefully you found an activity that really sparked your interest or you think is very relevant to the participants, learners, clients, children with whom you are working, and has served as a nice framework to give you some additional ideas for things that you can create on your own. So I promised you an important, exciting announcement at the end of the video. So if you stuck with me, here it is. This 12-minute tutorial was only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to activity kits and all of the different applications for use. If you are interested in learning more and also accessing downloads, similar to the visuals I shared with you that correspond with the ice cream shop activity, you may want to check out our August professional development opportunity, which is our no contact play and social skills instruction mini course. So this will dive into much more detail about how to select activities and how you can expand upon them to target additional language skills and also focus on specific levels of play, such as associative and cooperative play, which you may have thought wasn't possible in terms of also adhering to social distancing guidelines or recommendations, as well as limiting or even eliminating shared touch points. So if you're interested in learning more, hop on over to our website and we invite you to check out and enroll in the course. We will see you tomorrow for episode 2.